story for us?
Hey, what's up? It's three Frenchies and Us, and this is going to be a start of a story called Do's and Don'ts of RV Life. This is video one, and this is going to be me telling stories about ups and downs that we've had. Most of them will be about me acting like a nerd for making a mistake. So the first one is that when we very first got our RV, we drove into Trinidad to our friend Bob's house, and we've had our e-bikes stored at Bob's for a while, and we had them, actually I think they were at the Denver house. That doesn't really matter. We had the e-bikes, and we bought the sleeve and the adapter because we were taking them off our Subaru, and now they're going to be on our RV. We're not flat towing anymore, or yet. We're looking for a two-wheel drive vehicle. We have all-wheel drives. So bikes are our transportation when we go places, and we've been on the road for about 3 months now, and been cold, so we haven't rode the e-bikes. Luckily, we still have them, which is my story here. So normally I would help load the e-bikes, but we were kind of hustling to get out of the Airbnb and get on the road to our next adventure, really our first adventure, which makes this even more dangerous. So we left, and we were putting the bikes together. Shauna put the rack on herself. When I walked out, she had the bikes on, everything was, the bikes out, everything was ready to go. But we have the sleeve. The sleeve goes from a 1/4 inch into a 2 inch. And then you put a pin in there that's made for this e-bike. The rack that we have has a 1 1/4, so it goes in Shauna's Subaru very easily. But the sleeve can kind of cause complications. So Shauna's struggling with it. I'm proud of her, but then the man ego in me comes in because she can't get the pin in. And I grab it, and I was like, let me show you how to do this. And boom, I slide the pin in, first shot, right? Hand it to, put the bikes up. Yeah, I'm feeling good about myself. You know, I'm the stabber of the pin. I can do anything. The world is mine. Blah, blah, blah. So we take off. We drive 2,500 miles. Stopped at 4 different locations. Get to Tuscumbia, Alabama. Is it Alabama, Shauna?
I thought we were in Arkansas.
Okay, so we're in Arkansas. We've been to so many of these weird southern states before this adventure that we're on to Florida. We were somewhere in Georgia. It doesn't really matter. We were at the RV park, and Shauna goes, hey, Kevin, come look at the bike. Something doesn't seem right. We're about to take off and head out from the RV park, and we're doing our little walk around. The bike insert goes in about 6 inches. Then the pin goes in. When I looked at it, I slightly tugged on the bike rack. It was only in a 1/2 inch. When I stuck what I thought I was being a badass about, when I stuck the pin through the hole, I didn't go through the hole at all. I went in front, and the sleeve and the bike hitch were behind it, and I just went through a hole. Didn't go through the proper holes, and we rode about, I don't know, 1,500, 2,000 miles, an extremely long way, and the bike's just steadily bouncing. And before we left, Shauna caught it. They were about 1/4 to 1/2 inch, maybe an inch, but I think we would have lost them that day, and Jesus was with some people behind us, because if those things would have fell off, it would have been a freaking nightmare. So this goes into one of the things that we were important, because that's obviously a don't. Don't be cocky and shove the thing through and pretend you get it. Then goes down to our do. So I'm going to get better at the do's and don'ts, but I'm going to try to do a don't and then follow it with a do. So the do would be double check your work, always work as a team, and keep your ego out of the setup. And so afterwards, then the right one would be like, let me try, Shauna, see if I can do it. Make sure I didn't go in without knowing exactly what I was doing. Double check I was in the hole, and ask Shauna to give it a tug to make sure before I put the pin in and we're ready to go would have been the proper way. Because losing those e-bikes, they're each around, and I don't know, 75 to 125 pounds plus the rack. falling off the back of our RV, we may or may have not have noticed for a while because we are relying on cameras. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on the dash here. And I know I'm talking, but I am paying very close attention. We're driving in some raining weather. I have my hazards on. I'm in the far right lane, so I'm being as safe as possible. And I'm comfortable with talking on the camera without losing focus. So that's our do's and don'ts video 1. Do not let your ego get involved in your setup, and double check your bike racks. Make sure your pin is in, especially if you use conversion pieces to adapt on anything. Those are to be a problem. They can cause slipperage, moverage. Make sure you have the right connections. Make sure you're going through both of them and they're secure. And the do would be a teammate with your partner to double check your work. So this is video 1 of do's and don'ts. On video number 2, stay tuned. We're going to do about tire extensions. I have a crazy story about a flat tire from, could have been disastrous, 2 different occasions, and we're going to talk about tire extensions, what plays into adding extra parts that are unnecessary. So subscribe and like. This should be pretty cool. Hopefully we'll have a good time and get some hours. We are going to try to see how far we can take this channel. I don't care if you don't subscribe, we're still going to do it. So peace out, 3 Frenchies and Us.